An elderly woman walked into a high-end boutique, hoping to buy a special gift for her granddaughter. But instead of being welcomed, she was humiliated and kicked out by a store clerk who believed she didn't belong there. The other customers laughed at her, until a mysterious man stepped in and taught them a lesson they would never forget. Who was this man? And how did he make them regret their actions? In the heart of the city stood a prestigious boutique that catered exclusively to the wealthy. Every day, business tycoons, celebrities, and socialites walked in, casually spending thousands without a second thought. Behind the counter stood Jessica, a sales associate who had worked there for years. She had seen it all: rich clients in designer clothes, dripping in diamonds, paying for luxury items with a flick of their wrist. To her, only those who looked wealthy deserved respect. That's why, when an elderly woman walked in that day, Jessica's face twisted in disapproval. The woman's coat was worn, her shoes were muddy from the rain, and exhaustion was etched across her face. Yet, she gazed at a designer handbag in the display case with hopeful eyes. Jessica scoffed. What is someone like her doing in a place like this? With an irritated sigh, she marched over. Ma'am, the items here are expensive. We don't serve people like you, she said, looking the woman up and down with clear disgust. The woman smiled weakly. I just wanted to look around. I was hoping to buy that bag for my granddaughter's birthday. Jessica chuckled mockingly. That bag? You think you can afford it? It costs more than your yearly salary. A few customers overheard and started laughing. You should leave before I call security, Jessica said, folding her arms. The woman's eyes welled up, but she said nothing. Slowly, she turned and walked out, leaving wet footprints on the boutique's polished floor. None of the other employees spoke up. No one cared. Or so Jessica thought. Moments after the old woman left, a tall man in an expensive suit walked into the boutique. His hair was neatly styled, his watch gleamed under the store lights, and his presence exuded power. Jessica's entire demeanor changed. The sneer on her face vanished, replaced with a sweet, professional smile. Good afternoon, sir. How may I assist you? She asked in the most charming voice she could muster. The man took his time looking around. Then, he stopped in front of the same display the old woman had admired. I'll take all the handbags in this section, he said. Jessica blinked. All of them, sir? He nodded. Yes. Every single one. The other employees gasped. This was the biggest sale in the boutique's history. Jessica could hardly contain her excitement. Of course, sir. I'll have them packed right away, she beamed. Just as she was about to take the bags to the register, the man raised his hand. Wait, he said. These aren't for me. Jessica frowned. Then, who are they for? The man smirked. For the elderly woman you just threw out. Silence fell over the store. The employees stared at him in shock. Sir, you must be joking, Jessica stammered. The man's gaze hardened. Do I look like I'm joking? Jessica swallowed hard. She had underestimated him. The man continued in a calm but firm voice, that woman was a customer like anyone else. But you treated her like dirt just because of her appearance. I won't let that slide. Jessica scrambled for an excuse. We were just following store policy, sir. The man narrowed his eyes. Oh, really? Then let me introduce a new policy. I just bought this boutique. Jessica froze. What? The man smirked. My name is Richard Wellington, and as of today, I own this store. And you? You're fired. Jessica's face went pale. You can't do that. Oh, but I can, Richard said coolly. And I just did. The other employees stood in stunned silence. They had humiliated an old woman, right in front of a billionaire. Minutes later, an employee was sent to find the old woman and bring her back. When she re-entered the boutique, she was shocked to see the employees standing stiffly in the corner, their faces drained of color. Richard approached her with a warm smile and gently handed her several designer handbags. These are for you, ma'am, he said. The woman's eyes widened. But, I can't accept this. Richard shook his head. It's not just about the bags. It's about making sure people like them learn a lesson, one they won't forget. Tears welled up in the woman's eyes as she accepted the gifts. But more importantly, she reclaimed the dignity that had been stolen from her moments earlier.